Well, first off, I'm very proud of this team. I'm one of the luckiest coaches in America because I get to come in and work and work with some unbelievable people, and I can't tell you how enjoyable it has been coaching this group, how enjoyable and how much fun we have outside of basketball. And, you know, the one thing that I want for them is just nothing but greatness.
Okay, we'll take questions.
Coach, this is Ramona Shelburne at ESPN Los Angeles. How does a team learn how to win these games and close them out?
Play for 40. I think this group did an amazing job pretty much for about 33 minutes of the game, and then there was the run, and you knew it was coming. And this group is tough, and they're resilient, but we couldn't go deep in our bench tonight, and I think that hurt us a little bit. But I think when you're playing a team like Stanford, who has so many weapons, their ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter, their ability to score in the paint, you can't give them both. And you got to be able to take that away, take one of them away. And I thought in the first half we did a good job of taking away the paint points. And in the second half, you know, they really got on the offensive glass and got some putbacks. You know, their defensive pressure dialed up, and they've got, you know, transition baskets off of our turnovers. So you got to take care of the ball late game as well.
Michelle Smith, Pac10.org. Nikki, you said you knew that they would make a run at you. You guys had a nice lead at half, and you had them rattled. Did you have a feeling, though, that they were not going to go away?
They definitely weren't. You knew that they weren't going to just give in. They've got too much great leadership in Poland and Peterson, and you know the fight that they have because you know Stanford, and you know Coach Vanderveer and her competitive spirit, and you know they're not considered one of the best programs in the history of the game for nothing. So she does something extremely right, and she does a great job of making adjustments and getting her team ready to go in the second half. But I like the intensity of our group coming out in the second half. I thought they, you know, really stood toe-to-toe with a very, very good basketball team.
Coach Jill Painter, Los Angeles Daily News. Why was this emotional for you?
These two over here. You know, you don't have favorites. You don't supposed to have favorites, but these two are two of my favorites, probably that I've coached my entire career. You know, these two have meant so much. I mean, you know, just taking on so much responsibility for the success of this program. They've been very coachable. They've been a joy to be around. Dorena doesn't say much, but when she does, it's, you know, there's a lot of wisdom that comes out of her mouth. She talks a little fast, a little sometimes, but, you know, we understand her. Rex is always laughing, and actually Rex wants to be a rapper in her next life, but you know, it's just them as people. And, you know, this journey is short, and we potentially have 6 more games, but I know it's coming to an end, and so that it's a joyful sorrow with these two, though.
Media would remind you to identify yourself before your question.
Hi, Coach. Nick Hamilton, Sports Page Magazine.
Hi, Nick.
How you doing? Quick question. Just can you talk a little bit about the Stanford bigs and how they just adjusted well to your style of defense?
Well, I thought that you know, they really got on the boards, and we started overextending a little bit, and they were posting extremely hard in the paint. You saw the second and third effort of them battling, and to me that fuels a different type of energy that they had, and it also you know, sucks energy away from you when you've played that full clock and we've extended our defense, and we get them to take that contested shot, and then they come up with the rebound. That's definitely an energy boost for them. But the Gwumake sisters are relentless on the boards, and I thought Peterson also in there was giving them good looks in the paint as well. But we've got to be able to, by committee, box people and just try to battle as hard as we can inside.
Nikki and either player, can you guys just talk about the difference that Toni Kokonis made for Stanford off the bench when she hit the runner and made a layup and hit a couple big threes in the second half?
Well, when you have bench play that can come in and give you that spark, she's been able to do that for them. She's had great games against us. She's a very aggressive player as far as offensively, because you got to guard her off the dribble, and she knocked down some big shots for them. And we talk about this at any given time. Your number's going to be called, and you need to be ready to answer the call, and she did. And again, the game doesn't know your age, and she plays, much more experienced than a first year.
For either one of the players, what was the mindset going into the half, and how confident were you guys that you guys could hang on and pull this game out?
Well, coming back into the half, we knew that the first half was gone and that Stanford was going to make a run at us. So we just came out saying, don't look at the score, don't look at the time, go for 20 minutes and put everything you got.
Told you she's a woman of few words.
Yeah, I agree with Darina. We don't look at the score now. It's basically 0-0, and we need to play for another 20 minutes and go out and play hard. So that will stick us into the game.
Here on the right.
Gary Klein with the Los Angeles Times.
Hi, Gary.
Hi. Nikki, can you talk about the tournament, the NCAA tournament, and how you see it playing out? I mean, can anyone beat those 4 teams that are regarded as the top 4 seeds?
They're pretty tough. I think when you look at Stanford and them beating Connecticut early on, I think that's a great indicator of, the 1 and 2s that are out there. Tennessee's playing inspired basketball right now. It's going to be a great battle. The thing that I will say about the tournament, I think in the Pac-10, it has allowed, or I hope we have been prepped enough with the competition in our conference, to help us Stanford, help ourselves. Hopefully we get 4 teams in. When you look at Arizona State and Arizona, you've got great teams in this conference. And, we've also fared well against the Big East. We were 6-2 against the Big East, and we've been able to win on the road against, that conference as well. But, when you're looking at those 4, they've got go-tos. And they've got some big-time go-tos. Baylor with Griner and Sims, and then you look at Maya Moore, and in Stanford, you can say their roster, the first 5, but your go-tos have got to play, your bigs, and if your bigs don't come ready to play, then it's going to be a long day for you. And I think Stanford's got a great shot at it. They've got all the tools. They've got the players, the discipline, the heart, the competitive drive, but most importantly, they got the spirit of a team that's on a mission.
Hi, I'm Ramona Shelburne with ESPN LA. This is a question for both the players, and I know both of you were there at Nikki's introductory press conference when she was hired a few years ago. Can you put into perspective just how far this program has come since that day, and maybe why it's gone that far?
When Coach Nikki first came in, I was just intimidated. I'm like, yeah, she came from a top-notch school, especially coaching under Pat Summitt, but we were excited and just looking forward to meeting her, and she knew what she wanted from this team, and she did a good job, and we did a good job following her.
Yeah, when Coach Nikki came here, she came with a drive, with an intensity that we weren't going to take anything less. She came in and just instilled discipline into us and hard work, and just the belief that, we can do anything as long as we put the effort in and we put the time in, and we can do it.
We'll take.
I don't want to say no names, but Coach Nikki wasn't too happy about it.
We'll take 2 more questions right here in the back.
Nikki, Tom Fitzgerald, San Francisco Chronicle. That was a great coaching job, I have to say. For most of the game, you took, not only did you take away their inside game, but you pretty much shut down their transition. What's the way, how the secret or whatever in doing that? Do you focus on Poland? How exactly, aside from getting back quickly?
Well, when we look at their ability to run the basketball at you, I mean, obviously the ball's in Poland's hand quite a bit, but the Gumakays take off. I mean, they are on a dead sprint. So we wanted to just have one pirate pick up the ball and making sure that everybody else was sprinting back. We had opportunities to set our 12 because we were hitting some shots here and there, so that gave us a chance to set our full court defense. But, you know, to this group's credit, we went into this game with the same concepts, the same defensive scheme. They just played it harder. I thought they did a much, much better job of really trying to close out and keep the ball in front of them. I thought we battled in the paint for the most part, most of the game. But again, it was their level of intensity and their ability to really pick up that level of intensity from the last time we played them.
Any quick final questions? I think we'll wrap it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's up? Thank you. You got my chair.
Okay, I got your chair. Okay.
Check. All right, we've got the Stanford Cardinal, Coach Tara Vanderveer, Tony Kokenis, Nneka Ogwumike, and Kayla Peterson. Coach, I'll let you open.
There was a gentleman yesterday that asked, do we need a close game? I worried about that. This was a great game, and I just want to first of all congratulate UCLA for a great season. They had us on the ropes, and we had to really battle to come back, and I'm really proud of our team's second half. I think that our first half, we weren't in any kind of rhythm offensively. We weren't aggressive enough defensively. We weren't doing a good enough job really at any phase of the game, and we're definitely out of sync. So, at halftime, I think we just talked about what we needed to do, and we have veteran players with, Jeanette and Kayla and Nneka, and they really led the way. And then we had some young freshmen like Tony and Chene really step up and make big plays for us. I really feel that this game will really help us a lot, and I hope it helps UCLA too.
Questions?
Michelle Smith, Pac10.org. Tara, can you talk about Tony's run of 10 straight points there? It seemed to turn things in your direction pretty solidly.
Yeah, Tony stepped up really big for us. She played really well against UCLA last time. I really had confidence that she could come out, and it just took our team, kind of getting into the second half and recognizing what was open. And Tony helped us defensively. Her speed, getting out, getting those layups, getting to the free throw line, making those threes. The 1-3 kind of bounced all around and then dropped in for her. But she's a big time player, and she was aggressive. And this was a great game for Tony, and and for other players on our team.
Warren Grimes from the Bootleg. Tony, did you have a chance to send a few text messages while you were waiting for that three-point shot to decide to go in? Mm-hmm. And a question for Coach Vanderveer. How did you change the defensive structure for the second half?
Okay. That definitely bounced around like 5 or 6 times. Like it felt like forever. And I was waiting for it to roll out, but kind of nice to get a friendly roll every now and then.
So I think in the second half, it helped me to see our offense in front of us, to see what was open a little bit more. And I think we got in some different and better alignments for our team. But I really think it was our defense. I think people really stepped up and got more aggressive. We were not handling their pick and roll very well in the first half. In fact, we were handling it horribly. But we started switching more, and We got our hands on the ball, and this game was, was kind of an atypical game for some people for us. It was not a great game for Jeanette, but other people stepped up, and I was really happy to see that.
Tom Fitzgerald, San Francisco Chronicle. Nneka, could you talk about that run by Tony when she had 10 straight points or something like that? And what was it like from your vantage point?
I mean, honestly, I was on defense whenever she would get a steal or making a cut on offense whenever she would get some sort of pass. She had those 2 threes in the corner, and she was being really aggressive on the ball, which produced those, I guess, I want to say maybe 4 plays. And I was really excited because she's quick, and she focuses and she listens to what the coach always tells her to do, and she really knows how to help us when she's out on the court, and I was just really proud of her. And we definitely needed that run because they were taking away a lot of the things that we're good at. They were packing it in inside, and she kind of opened things up for us, as well as Jeanette and Kayla, and I was really excited to see how much she was bringing to the court.
And Nneka, one other thing, when you talk about packing it inside, they're obviously a very quick team, but how frustrating was it for you personally down low when you had all those people around you?
It wasn't really frustrating for me at all, except in the fact that we were really trying to figure out what we needed to do on offense. One thing about our team is that we're very versatile, and when one thing doesn't work, we look for another thing, but at the same time, we try to get everything that we're good at to work at the same time. And once we started getting the ball inside, I think the way that we did that was by O-boarding, and we did a really good job of O-boarding in the second half. And it was definitely frustrating because I felt like there were two people on me at all times, but at the same time, our guards really opened things up on the perimeter, and things kind of spread out from there.
Beth Harris, AP. Tony, when you were having that scoring run, did you have time to think, really? Was it just more on instinct, and did nerves creep in at any point?
No, not really. It was just basically on instinct and just giving whatever I could to the team and being aggressive. And it all started on defense, great plays by my teammates who tipped the ball out, and I was just in the right place at the right time and was able to finish. And then just we passed the ball really well on offense, and I got some open shots and was able to knock them down. So.
Kayla, can you talk about being down at the half like that, and then I think it was double digits at one point, and just what you were thinking, because you guys haven't been in that spot for a few months?
Yeah, I think it's very unusual that we are in that spot, and I don't think that any of us panicked, though, going into the half. We knew we were down. We knew we dug ourselves a hole, and I think it was more of a challenge to us. Okay, how are we going to get out of it? How are we going to fight back, And I think in the second half, you saw a team that will always continue to fight no matter what the score is. And, I think that just increased our aggression. We got a lot of steals. We got our hands on the ball. We got loose balls. And I just think that that fight in us really brought us through.
Jeff Ferrato, Oakland Tribune. Tara, in the first half, did you feel like your team was impatient and just settling for threes and not finding a way to get the ball inside against their zone, or did you think the ball would eventually just start going down?
Well, one of the things, Jeff, I think that they were really clogging things up in there. And it almost Lindy hit a 3 right off the bat, but I thought we were not necessarily taking shots in good rhythm. But I think that that's what they were giving us. They just had seen maybe, Nneka and Chene and Sarah Booth, going 5 for 6, 10 for 12 and everything. And they were just saying, all right, we're going to pick our poison and we're going to live with them kind of taking perimeter shots. Now, they weren't just flat out leaving people. But I really feel like, we need people really recognizing that they are open and shooting in rhythm, maybe even, right off the bat. So I don't feel like we were really impatient as much as not shooting in rhythm and not recognizing what we need to do. And I also think that as a coach, I didn't do a good enough job giving them good alignments to be in. They're a very athletic, quick team. And, we do want to keep working the ball and get it in, but we didn't do a really good job the first half.
Gary Klein with Los Angeles Times. Tara, can you talk about, as you move into the tournament, how you see it playing out? Is kind of a perception that no one can beat the top 4 seeds? Do you kind of see it that way?
Are we one of the top 4 seeds? Okay, yeah. Good. I really hope that on Monday we are given a number 1 seed, and I think we have earned it in this game. And I think UCLA deserves a 2 seed. They really have improved a lot, and they're playing really well. I think, you just look at the tough game we had. Baylor had a tough game. Connecticut had a tough game. When you play teams in your league, anything can happen, and they just get you better. And I don't know that. I mean, I hope that we are able to improve and really play well in the tournament, but you've got to come out ready to play every single game. And that's a lesson for our team to learn today, which I think we did.
Any final questions? Last one.
Lee Michelson, Full Court Press. Coach, was there any point in the game where you saw that number 1 seed slipping away?
I wasn't thinking about that at all. I think Kayla kind of addressed this a little bit. We probably had the absolute worst half, although I think maybe DePaul, we could say that was, they were head and head going for the worst half. And I think we really, our team did not panic. They really kept working hard, talking to each other, and I think the run when we came out in the second half, to me, the first half we boggled. I take responsibility for how we played. We didn't do a good enough job. I didn't help them enough. And the second half, we really got aggressive defensively. We got the ball inside better. We knocked down some shots. Jeanette hit a couple of shots. Tony had a big play for us. So I was never thinking about that. The seed is not critical anyway. It's more important that you have players that are healthy and want to play with each other. And what I think you saw with this game was our players showing a lot of heart. And when you beat teams like, by 20 and 30, a lot of people get in. But we had to really dig down and see what kind of character we had, and I'm really proud of them. This is a real big win for our program, and 4 in a row for Kayla and Jeanette, and Tony's got the hang of it here.
I think that'll do it.
All right, thank you all very
Thank you.
much.